Welcome to Kenzie Digital channel. Please subscribe and follow for more videos. Today I want to show you the connection of the rings of a motor. Right now I want to show you how we put in separators. That is my separator. It's known as Nomex paper. It is used to separate primary windings and secondary windings, or primary coil and secondary coil. And that is now my Nomex paper. I'm now separating the coils. And you can see there is two wires. This is the bottom side of the motor. It is a 4 horsepower motor, high speed. You can see there is two wires there. Still putting the insulator or the separator to separate the two coils. As I continue to put the separator, I want to explain why you can see the two wires on the bottom. These two wires are from the primary coils. I have the two primary coils. It has two tops and two bottoms. Since it is a high-speed motor, it has its own connection, and I want to explain the reason why I have the two wires on the bottom of the motor. The two wires are from primary coil, and I want to connect the rings. Before I connect the rings, I have to insert the sleeve. That is my sleeve now. Remember that the wire is from the primary coil and it is a top. That is my top. A high-speed motor tops meets. You connect the top. You have the bottom, which goes as red. Our bottoms are on the top side of the motor. Remember, this is the back side. The reason why I have the two wires on the bottom side of the motor and it's top, it is because we have a switch on the bottom side of this motor, a centrifugal switch, or a butterfly switch. That is where we will connect the two rings. So that's the reason why I have the two rings on the bottom of the motor side. That is where we will connect our butterfly switch. And remember, they are from the starting coils and it is top. So that is my ring I'm connecting. I want you to understand the reason why I have the two wires, and I hope you have gotten it clearly. It's from the tops of the primary coils, and we will connect these two tops to the switch. So that is my second ring. I'm connecting it. After connecting the two rings, I want now to solder the joint. Remember, when there is a joint and well soldered, you lower the resistance. That's the reason why I'm soldering this joint. I'll do soldering to both joints. I have to make sure that joint is well soldered. That is to make sure it's well soldered and it's tight. I want to show you the connection of the rings after you have rewinded the motor. After that, after soldering, we have to put our sleeve to our ring that will go cover even the joint. That is my sleeve, I'm putting it. Remember that is my top wire, and the other wire is still top from the primary coil. So when you hear someone talk of primary or starting coil, that is one and the same thing. So that is the connection which is done on the bottom side of the motor, where a switch is on the back side. So remember that is our two rings now from starting coil. So the only remaining part on the bottom side is to bite the coils using a cotton tape, and that is my cotton tape. I wanna bite back side. Biting is easy. I want to show you the top side, how the connection is done on the top side still, so that you can be aware of the connection after you have rewinded the motor. Remember, this is a high-speed motor. A high-speed motor, I have told you, we connect tops. Bottom goes as our rings. The reason why I have these two wires on the back side is because we have a switch there. That is binding. I'll show you better on the top side how binding is done. Now I want to show you the connection of the other rings on the top side. And this is now the connection. Remember, here we have top of the secondary coil. We have two bottoms of the primary coil and two tops of the secondary coil. That is just inserting a sleeve. That is to make sure our sleeve, before you put a joint, you have to insert a sleeve. That is peeling the wire before connection. So I will use blue wires as my primary coil rings and the brown wire as my secondary coil rings. My secondary coil will be parallel. It has two wires. It's parallel. You can see I have joined two. That means it's a parallel, and that is where we will connect our secondary rings. That is my primary rings. I have connected one. You can see clearly it's a blue one. That is just a side cutter used to cut the wire to make sure that red will be enough. After that, is the other primary coil. Remember, that is my bottoms. our top, we connected them at the bottom side or back side. You can see now I have connected the two primary rings. Now that is the secondary rings, you can see they are two. That's why I told you it's parallel, and that is where we will get our ring. We connect the other ring. You can see now that is just to make sure that thread will be enough. And after connecting the fourth ring, that is a secondary or the running coil, we just put the sleeves just as we have done the other side, and then after that we bind our coil. So that is how we go about it. So the thing here is to connect the other two rings. You can see now I have connected three rings, two primary, and you can see now I have inserted even the strips. Now what I'm doing, I'm putting the separator. Remember we did the same thing to the other side. After you have your strips, your rings well connected, you have to put the separators. Remember I told you the separator is called Nomex paper. That separates primary coil with secondary coil. So the same thing we did to the bottom side or the back side of the motor is the same thing we will do on the top side. The only difference on the top side is that we have 4 rings on the top side, and on the back side we have just 2 rings. That is the big difference. And you can see that I am shaping the Nomex paper so that it will be easy when I'm binding the coil. So that is how we go about it smoothly, keenly. You have to make sure it's well pressed. So you can see how well they are designed. After that, now we can start binding. Because you can see now all separators are there, our rings are there. We have inserted our sleeves properly. So the next thing is to bind our coil, and that is now the binding. We will use a cotton tape, and that is my cotton tape. That is my cotton tape. So now we start binding it to make the coil intact. Remember what I'm doing here is what is done on the back side still, and binding is not a very hard job. You just bind them through the slots. You can see slot how the coil is coiled. Just move to the next slot. You can see, yeah, you can see, and that is the process that is repeated till you complete. You can see now the coil is binded together. And that is the process. So it is not a very hard job for you to do it. You just need to be determined and focused. So after binding, I want to show you the complete binded coil. You can see it now. After that, you have to make sure the top cover or the Nomex paper is the same used as the top cover of the coil. They are well pressed in the slot to avoid when the rotor is rotating to destroy the coil. And that is what I'm doing, making sure they are properly inserted in the slot. Yeah, you can see. And you can see when the coil is binded how smart it is. Then after that we start applying varnish. That is my varnish. I'm applying on the top side. That is to make sure now the coil is intact. You insert it and you have to make sure it's well put, because this will bind the coil together. Because there will be a rotating rotor there inside, and you need to avoid the vibration and to avoid the coil movement. That's the reason why we apply varnish. It makes the coil intact. And you have to apply both sides. This is the top side. After that, you turn your motor. You apply on the top side. Or this is the bottom side. Remember, we have applied on the top side. And that is how the connection of reed is done on a high-speed motor. On next video, I'll show you how to connect low-speed motor. Please welcome and subscribe for more YouTube videos. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos.